Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of the Storm Report. I am Matt Shellenberger, joined by head football coach Mike Cochran. Coach, the other day 49-7, probably not quite the result you wanted, but we are seeing improvement week after week. What were some of your overall thoughts against Arkansas Tech?
Well, one of the things I talked to the guys about on Monday is with 3 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game, it was a 21-7 football game. And at that point, we had missed about 17 points offensively with two red zone attempts that came away and interceptions. One was just barely outside the red zone. We were still in field goal range. And then a missed field goal. You know, if we make good on those 17 points or even convert them to 21, we're leading that football game at that point in the game. And I think it affects the momentum. You know, they certainly could play different, and we could play different.
I want to talk about the offense just a little bit. You had 251 yards of passing yards through the air, or excuse me, of total yards. I thought the offense played pretty well. I mean, overall, they're moving the football. You talked about the turnover just a little bit. Were you pleased with the offensive performance?
No, I really wasn't, because we need to run the ball better than we did. I knew they'd be tough to run it on. We needed to have a higher yards per carry in our rush. And then we needed to finish those drives. If we'd finished those drives and ended up losing, 28-24, I would say, yeah, I was very pleased in how the offense played and overall probably as a team. And we just didn't finish drives, and then in the end we didn't finish the game.
They did have 277 rushing yards, but they only had 98 passing yards. You guys' pass defense has been pretty consistent so far. Are you pretty pleased with the pass defense so far this season?
I am, but to win at this level, you have to stop the run, and you want to put them in a position where they have to pass, and that's the main thing that we are working to fix. Within guys understanding the scheme and fitting within the scheme.
Third down on offense last week, kind of a crucial down again last week, only 4 of 15. How can you kind of shift that just a little bit?
Being more manageable third downs, not end up in third and long. The third and longs we ended up in were due to penalties, due to lost yardage. So we need to be in third and medium to third and short more often.
I want to talk a little bit about DeFonso Mack. He had 111 all-purpose yards. He seems to be a pretty big threat back there in kickoff returns, along with Jonathan Martin.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete, and he's been doing it for a while now, and he knows what he's doing, and we just appreciate his effort as far as those things go.
We talked with Coach Hubbard last week about the defense being so young. Can you talk a little bit about that, just as far as coaching goes? Because you started 5 freshmen. You're starting a lot of young guys. How difficult can that be at times?
Well, college football is the next step, and the game is faster, and those guys are seeing things they haven't seen before. I think we have a bright future because of that, but there is a learning curve, and I think that's where the inconsistent play has come in. We're starting several freshmen on offense as well, 2 on the offensive line, and so you'll have, because they're talented, you'll have good plays, but then you have the negative plays that end up hurting you. So we just need to be more consistent, and we need to be able to be more consistent through 4 quarters.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with defensive end Cristo Lisika.
Rowing to victory requires expertise, accountability, and most of all, teamwork. That's why Kate has Tinker Federal Credit Union right there in the boat with her, helping ensure she crosses each financial finish line in first place, so she can focus on what's important. Getting a little more bling. TFCU. We get it.
Welcome back to the Storm Report. I am Matt Shellenberger, joined by defensive end Cristo Lisika. Cristo, the other day, obviously the result at the end wasn't quite what you guys wanted as a team, but you had 9 tackles. You played pretty well. How do you feel like you performed individually?
There's more that I could have done. I'm never satisfied with what I do. You go back to film and you watch things, the misplays that you could have done to help the team out and maybe help the results be a little different. But other than that, it's just about getting better every week and helping the team out and as much as possible, helping the defense out and doing my job and just getting to the ball at the end of the day, being physical and playing fast.
I'll talk about Arkansas Tech just a little bit. They had 277 rushing yards. They're hard to stop on the ground. What is it that makes them so difficult to defend?
I have a lot of respect for Arkansas Tech, but looking at the film, there was a lot of things that we did wrong, missed assignments or not getting to the gaps fast enough or even just missing the gaps and stuff like that. So that's the stuff that really killed us at the end of the day. But like I said, Arkansas Tech, they're a good team, have a lot of respect for them, but I think the results could have been different if we would have done what we were supposed to do, played as a unit and, go out there and execute what we were supposed to do. So that's really what went on at the end of the day.
What are some of the things as a defense, as a team defense, you guys can do to improve week after week? Because we've seen improvement in this defense. It seems like you guys are kind of right there. What is it you can do to improve overall?
Coming together as a unit, playing as one. One thing we always say as a team is count on me. So count on the person next to you that they're going to get the job done. They're going to do their assignments. And I'm at fault at this one. Sometimes I feel like doing my job is not enough. I have to do somebody else's, so I have to take care of mine. So I'm do what I have to do and stuff like that, and count that the person next to me will get their job done and do their assignment. So just coming together as a unit and trusting each other. That's the main thing.
You were dealing with an ankle injury at the beginning of the season. How overall did that affect you, and is that ankle close to being 100%?
It's feeling a lot better. It's been getting a lot better every day. I'm just about at 100%, but it did affect the way I played the first couple games, and I tweaked it a couple times during the game, had to come out, but it definitely did slow me down. I really don't want to blame it on that, but there are times where I watch the film, I watched it, I'd babysit it a lot. I wouldn't put a lot of pressure on there when I'm at contact, and like they said, the best pass coverage is a pass rush, and I wasn't getting to the quarterback fast enough. There are times I could have got to the quarterback a little faster, but I can just tell I was playing not as fast as I wanted to, where I needed to be, but it's definitely feeling a lot better, and I'm just about 100% and ready to go.
What kind of challenges is Harding going to present on Saturday? They're obviously a good team. They're 1-1 overall. That's an exciting game on Saturday. What are they going to present?
It will be exciting. Well, it's going to be smash mouth football for 4 quarters. So we have to play physical every single play, every single quarter. We cannot let up. They're going to be stubborn. So our coaches told us we have to be stubborn as well. They're going to want to run the ball first, second, and third down, and just continue to pound it. And if we stop them, they're going to get back up and do it. So we just have to continue to stop them and continue to play physical for 4 quarters.
I'll leave you with this final thought. Last year, you only played 2 home football games. You played 4 for your career here at SNU, I think. Is that right? Mm-hmm. How good is it? How neat is it for you to be able to play in front of the home crowd?
Oh, it's great. It's fun. Great environment, great crowd, and real supportive. I mean, we haven't been able to give them the results that they're wanting and expecting from us, but they've been great. They've been real supportive out there, and I enjoy it. I enjoy every single moment, and the season's not over yet. I know they haven't given up on us, and we haven't given up on ourselves, so we're going to continue to come hard every single week, and victory will be on its way pretty soon.
All right, Cristo, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be right back to talk with running back Chris Hunter on the Storm Report.
Martial arts instruction is more than self-defense. It's self-reliance. But even a sensei needs support. Tinker Federal Credit Union has had Elijah's back every kick, punch, and step of the way. And the strength of Oklahoma's largest credit union lets him focus on his passion, chopping wood. TFCU. We get it.
Welcome back to the Storm Report. I am Matt Shellenberger, joined by running back Chris Hunter. Chris, the other day, you played pretty well, 57 rushing yards. On the season, you have 231 so far this season. How do you feel like, as an individual, you played, and also 3 touchdowns, how do you feel like as an individual you played so far this season?
I started off in the right direction. Of course, I could always do better. I feel like I always want the best for myself, and I feel like the opportunities could be the outcome could be a lot more better than that. But I'm satisfied with it for right now. At least it's not 0 yards and no touchdowns. So I'm pretty happy for right now.
You guys are, it seems like every time we watch your games, you're right there. You get down to the red zone and you'll have a turnover. You're 7 of 8 on the season in the red zone. Do you feel like that offense, what are some of the steps that the offense can do to take that next step and start putting up consistent numbers?
We just have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot when we get down there. I mean, we've put drives together on every team that we played, and so really it's just execution. And we're still kind of young on offense, so still trying to get things worked out right. But I mean, just comes down to execution and doing what you're supposed to do, and it should work out like it's designed. All the plays are designed right, and they all work, so we just have to execute them.
Talked a little bit to Cristo, Lisika earlier. What kind of challenges is Harding going to present on the offensive side of the ball? What are they going to present on the defensive side of the ball to try and slow you guys down?
Well, from being in the game last year, their D-line did a whole lot of twists and shifts and stuff that caused a lot of confusion. So, and Arkansas Tech kind of did the same thing. So if they watch film, I kind of feel like they're going to do the same exact thing to try to beat us with that. So we're just going to have to play with our eyes up and be aware of that, so the run game can work and the passing game can work, and everything should work from there.
You look kind of like a guy who's kind of shifty in the open field. You're a pretty exciting running back to watch. Would you rather be one of those smash mouth runners that runs in between the tackles, or do you like to try and get outside and bust a long one?
Honestly, I'd rather just be an inside runner. It's the quickest way to the end zone. You have to go outside, you have to kind of run around everybody, but I mean, just however it gets done, however it helps the team out, I'll do that. So,
I asked Cristo with this. I'll leave you with this question: the home crowd. How important is it to play in front of your home fans? Obviously, more than 2 times a year, like last season. You guys have 3 more home games this season. You've already had 2. How great is it to play in front of the home fans?
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, the atmosphere is great. You have people actually cheering you on versus away games. There's like 10 people in the stands. Then those long, like 6.5, 7-hour bus rides. Oh, those are not fun after the game. You're all sore and you're cramped up on the bus. So it's great to have a home game, have the home crowd here, and have just everybody, cheering you on.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for joining us on the Storm Report. We'll be right back with some final thoughts from Coach Cochran.
Being a frontwoman takes confidence, dedication, and more than a pinch of swagger. Lucky for Kim, she has Tinker Federal Credit Union on rhythm guitar. And with our mobile app helping keep her checking account in tune, she can focus on what's important. Nailing that next solo. TFCU. We get it. Being a frontwoman takes confidence, dedication, and more than a pinch of swagger. Lucky for Kim, she has Tinker Federal Credit Union on rhythm guitar. And with our mobile app helping keep her checking account in tune, she can focus on what's important. Nailing that next solo. TFCU. We get it.
Welcome back to the Storm Report. I am Matt Shellenberger, joined by head football coach Mike Cochran. Coach, you got Harding this Saturday at Harding. They've outscored opponents 92-27 so far this season. They're a good football team, 1-1 overall. What are some of the things you guys are going to have to do to go in there and get a victory?
Well, we've got to stop the run. I mean, they are a run first, second, and third team, and they might throw the ball 8 or 9 times a game. So that's first. On the flip side, we need to run the ball. We need to do a good job on the run game. That's been the challenge this week. We didn't do as well last week. And so it's really going to come down to, I think, who can manage that part of the game.
They have 2 running backs, Romo Westbrook averaging 8.6 yards per carry, and Danico Johnson-Best is averaging 4.5 yards a carry. How difficult is that as a defense to stop a 2-headed monster like that?
Yeah, well, their offense is difficult in itself because it's the only time we'll see it. It's very unique. It's a wing T offense, and their team is built to run this offense, intentionally, and so they're pretty good at it. So it's not so much. I think those running backs are getting those yards as a product of the scheme, and we've got to win those battles up front, and that'll make our day a whole lot easier.
Their quarterback, Jacob Moore, he doesn't throw a whole lot, but when he does, he's been pretty effective. Even though he's only thrown 19 passes, but he's still throwing for 145.5 yards per game. That's pretty productive.
Yeah, they get a lot of big plays off play action, and the best thing we can do is get them in 3rd and long, and then it makes it more difficult for him to throw the ball. If he's able to throw it, in shorter yardage situations, that's kind of where those big plays can come in.
Absolutely. Coach, the red zone so far this season on offense, we talked a little bit about that. You guys have been pretty deadly in the red zone. You had the 3 turnovers the other day, but overall, you've got to be pretty pleased with the red zone offense.
I am. You know, as a coach, though, you want to score every time you enter the red zone. Whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, you want to put points on the board. And you know, so I'll never be pleased unless we're 100% in a game.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us on the Storm Report. That's going to do it for this week. Join us next week, and we will talk about the game against Harding this Saturday, and we'll talk about the next game for next week.